What's going on, guys? It's your host, your boy, George McKay, back again with another episode of MLW Rewind. Except this one, I'm flying solo. That's right. The old man, Lewis Carlin, had a bedtime. He couldn't make it for this one. But I got somebody good. I got somebody who is, in my opinion, one of the best big men in wrestling. And I'm not going to waste any time. Please help me welcome Gringo Loco to MLW Rewind. What's going on, my dude?
What's up, man? I appreciate you having me on the show. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Before we push record, we were talking about the weather conditions here in Canada and the weather conditions where you are in Chicago. And we both agreed on one thing. They absolutely suck.
It's shake my head weather, bro. I mean, it's just like it's snowing again. This is unbelievable. You've done this already. Can you leave us alone for a day or two? That'd be nice.
No, we can't because it's still February and this is just a part of life.
Man.
So, Gringo, you are one of the most amazing cats I've seen in the ring. You remind me a lot of one of my personal favorites, which is Kevin Owen. Is a big man with a lot of agility and a lot of speed. And three matches of yours that I absolutely love. The first one, which I fell in love with, was we discussed a little bit before I push record, Fusion 57. You versus Alex Hammerstone in the semifinals for the open weight championship. And we all know what happened. Unfortunately, he went on to win and is now wearing that belt for close to 2 years. But in that match, there was a couple of things that really, really impressed me. Just everything about you, how you took Hammerstone. It was only about a 7-8 minute match, but you knocked him back on his ass a little bit. And the one spot, I hate Jim Cornette, I really do. But the one spot of the commentary that I loved is when he called you his
I know
guilty
where you're
pleasure.
going.
Yeah, he called you his guilty pleasure. Talk to me about that, about having, like, Jim Cornette. He's a big mouth, but he's got a lot of knowledge. When he calls you a guilty pleasure, it's kind of a compliment, right? Little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of a compliment, and wasn't exactly prepared for him to for a lot of time that we knew each other. I had never had any run-ins with him at all, and I show up to New York MLW one day, and he's just there, and he's the agent for our match, and I'm like, all right, let's see what the Jim Cornette experience is all about. And I don't think he had ever seen one of my matches, but after that Hammerstone match, he was a fan of mine and kind of gravitated towards me oddly, because he's not really a flippy guy type of fan, and he did make a comment that I look like a baked potato with arms and legs, and I thought that was kind of funny. But everything after that was pretty positive. I didn't have any negative experience with him, which is crazy because everybody else does. But it was all professional, and he gave me a lot of critiques behind the scenes. But overall, it was positive experience. I can't even lie, man.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, like I said, like you said, he's got a lot of negative publicity and negative experiences, but every once in a while he has those positive ones. And yeah, the potato comment, I didn't even want to bring that up. I'm glad you did, but I mean, it's Jim Cornette. I love to tell him to shut his big fat southern mouth. So if
Yeah,
he's watching, Jim Cornette, come at me because I've been
right.
beating you down on podcasts for 4 years. I have no problem doing it face to face. But that match with Hammerstone, one of the
It's
moves.
just a different mentality, man. He's from yeah.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no, I
go
was
ahead.
just gonna say he's just an old school guy. Like they're just set in their ways. It's really hard to get those people to turn the corner and come with us to the new generation because they're so set in their ways. I don't think it's his fault. He's made a lot of comment. That comment about Sonny Kiss and all that. Like I think he was. I don't want to say he innocently said that, but in a way he did. I don't really think that he knew that society had come so far and that comment wasn't acceptable anymore. Because he said it so freely. I'm not defending Jim by any means, but I looked at it for what it was, and I think he was just commenting the way that he knew how. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I 100% agree with you. I get it.
Like up 10 notches by this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I fully understand who he is and what he does. It's just sometimes I wish that even though we use that kind of, I guess, stance that, oh, they're from the old school, they're from a different time period. As human beings, we all evolve and grow. And I just wish some members of that older generation would do the same thing.
Right. For sure.
Absolutely. So that match with Hammerstone, one of the things that impressed me the most is when he was on the outside and you were going to go for the dive. And then you did that awesome handstand back on the ropes and flip back. And then he walked around the ring. He had his ego going. He's like, I'm smart for this guy. and then you did the same thing through the other ropes. Like I said, man, your agility is ridiculously impressive. And a lot of people would judge a book by its cover. Much, oh, look at this guy. He's not going to move around the ring too much. But then, bam, you just explode. So, where does the love for, I guess, the flippy shit, if you will, where does that come from? Because a lot of big guys like you would more so want to use their power, the ground game, but you take to the skies as often as you can. And for me, I love it. I was all in on Gringo Loco from 57 on.
Man, foremost, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate, your love for Gringo, and just appreciate what I try to bring to the table every time. It's always something different, something that stands out, something that's not seen in every other match that's on card. You mentioned the handspring. That is definitely an inspiration from Tajiri, obviously. I'm a luchador from day one, and watching Tajiri and Super Easy when I was growing up, dude, that was the stuff to watch from ECW. You know what I'm saying? Little Guido, Mikey Whip, like all those guys really were my inspiration growing up. It was certainly wrestling I was able to watch when I was young. And the beginning has always been, I want to be on an authentic luchador, like, from the bottom. So if you're going to do it, you kind of have to be athletic, you have to be acrobatic, and you have to be able to fight, regardless of size. You know what I mean? So I've always tried to stay true to that. And I got to thank, the fans, obviously, when I'm out there, for motivating me and giving me the adrenaline I need, like get my big ass over the top rope sometimes. you know?
But so let's talk about that for a second, because 57, there were fans. A lot of episodes there were fans. Then we get the comeback and there's no fans. And the most recent episodes you were on was the match with Gino Medina, which that twisting moonsault was just a holy shit moment for me. I marked out, I jumped out of my seat. I was like, yes. But Gino, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna put it on wax. Gino stole that win. That was your match, and he stole that win. And I don't think Gino was classy for that. He's going to be on the show in a few weeks, and trust me, I will say that to him. But talk to me about that twisting moonsault, man, because I've only literally seen it one other time, and I've seen it at an indie match. I've never seen it in an actual, one of the major companies. And I consider MLW to be one of the top 5 right now doing their thing. So talk to me about that. That's crazy creativity that Court Bauer and company is letting you guys have.
Yeah, so that move has been cooking for a long time with me. I haven't had enough balls per se to hit on anyone yet, and I knew that this was kind of my comeback to LW, and I hadn't been there in a while, and everything was all good. I just hadn't been down there, and I knew I had to do something that they hadn't seen, something that I had never done. I said, you know what? I think tonight's the night. I don't want you to move on this, so let's for the best. And he was like totally cool about it. Yeah, so truth be told, that was the first time I've ever hit it. I've missed it a couple times, but I get in a weird state where a lot of stuff is like on standby just to make sure that it'll be good before I do it. I just go out there and do it. I've never been like that. Even now, like I have a lot of stuff that I would like to, but like in a match, if it's not the time to do it, it just never happens. But I had been working on that for a while at this point. I'd say probably over a year before COVID. So everything shut down. So then I had to go back and keep trying it. But yeah, it's definitely one that I'm pretty confident about doing now.
100%. And from that led to my favorite episode of MLW in 2021, Filthy Island. I called it a beautiful disaster. It was everything I wanted it to be and more. But I got to ask, before we get into the match with Rocky Romero, how hard was it to wrestle in a ring with no ropes? The creativity has to be at its highest because you can't really do all the stuff you're used to doing.
My entire offense involves wrestling ropes. So I went into it very confused, very disoriented. It was like, well, I'm going to need a minute to think about how we're going to do this because it is completely out of my element. When I got there, I saw the run sheet. I saw Filthy Island Street Fight or whatever. I was like, oh, it's gonna be. I had no idea. It's gonna be uh normal ring with maybe like a lawn chair outside or something. I had no idea, right? And yeah, I get there and there's no ropes and there's a spa and there's barrels and there's car. This is gonna require some creativity, so I'm gonna do the best that I can. Obviously, you saw on the last episode, there's a couch there, so I mean, I have to utilize it somehow. I'll just dive right onto it and have you sit. Like, okay, cool. Um, I do tell this story. Rocky Romero, legend in Japan, Tokyo Dome, been around forever, right? And I saw a U-Haul. So he had already agreed to, couch spot, great, whatever. I actually I was like, no, we could probably do a head scissors off that U-Haul truck. Like, no, 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 we're fine. We don't need, like, I'm actually calling that to Rocky Romero, the legend of New Japan Wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just crazy with it. I just wanted to keep going up and up and like, how can we top everything? Because we have no rope. But I just thought it was funny that I'm telling this to jump off a U-Haul onto me when it completely wasn't needed. I love that story.
I have to ask, after you did the dive on the pea stained couch or whatever was going on with that couch, did you get a tetanus shot as soon as you were done? Did you get a tetanus shot?
Like right after the match, we had the guy right there with the shot. Dude, we sat in the couch just to kind of like talk about stuff, and that couch was not a good smelling couch, brother. It was one of those dirty smells. That couch is probably older than I am in life, bro. Stained, just red, probably cats, dogs had done it, bro. It was the worst smell. Right away, we were like, yeah, I'm not going back to the couch. And then we do a couch spot, of course.
Oof, man, that was like your match with Rocky Romero was my favorite match on the card that night. Any match that you're on for me is entertaining as shit. So I've got to ask this question because you faced Hammerstone, you faced Gino Medina, which he's not really a member of Dynasty anymore. I don't know if you've ever had your hands on Richard Holiday, but now that he is technically the unofficial Caribbean champion, if an opportunity came up for you to go after that Caribbean title, would you challenge the dynastic one, Richard Holiday, to a match for that title if the opportunity came your way that you could do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I know he's super athlete, great physique. I know he's good in the ring. Of course, man. I'm up to any challenge that nobody wants to throw at me, bro. Especially if it's for a strap too. And if anything, we can make a story and put AirPods on a pole match. I mean, I got AirPods, he's got AirPods. Let's get it, bro. Anything that entertains the fans, I'm all about it.
Absolutely. He's been on the show twice, and both times he's insulted my co host because he's super old and he's also not a coffee drinker. He's a tea drinker. So we've called him NCD, which is non coffee drinker. So I guess I have to ask this: are you a coffee drinker?
Occasionally. So I used to be super into it, man, and then I was having negative effects from it. So I've definitely cut back a lot. But I was a Starbucks guy, if that's what you're getting at. Yeah, I used to do Starbucks almost every day, but I've definitely cut back. The caffeine just got a little too much to handle sometimes. Sometimes you need it, man. You wake up and you're at 3 and you have to be in an 11, so you got to get a pick me up, of course. Special days for special occasions, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a cold brew guy myself. I do love my cold brew. The pumpkin cold brew gets me all the time. I know it's filled with sugar, and diabetes will be knocking at the door eventually. But you know what? Right now, it's not. So I'm going to live in the moment. I'm going to live in the moment. So, since these last couple of weeks were your return to MLW, kind of like you said, Gino Medina was your kind of comeback, your return, and now Filthy Island. What is next for Gringo Loco in the cards in the MLW world? Like I said, there's only so many straps and so many guys you can really go after for these straps. You got Holiday for the Caribbean. You've now got the man of the hour, one of my personal favorites, Leo Rush. He's now unified with the AAA cruiserweight and the MLW middleweight. And then you've got Alex Hammerstone as the open weight. And then you got the crown jewel of Contra, Jacob Fatu, who's another guy much like yourself, built like a big boy, but can move. Now that's a match. I mean, it's a dream match for me, but that's a match that fucking intrigues me, Gringo, because I think you and Fatu would just tear the fucking house down.
I honestly completely agree with you. The idea was passed to me a couple months ago, like who I wanted to face most, and it was definitely on that list. You want to super talent. I think we would tear it up. But I mean, two big guys as agile as we are, I mean, I think we would definitely leave like the entire building and rub dust at the end of that. But I just got to ladder, keep the confidence at an all-time high, and I think that day will come. I mean, there's been times where I walked into that locker room and been completely shocked with who they were giving me. My debut was against LA Park for the company, so never in a million years would I have thought that would have happened, and it was unbelievable. And that that was the show where, without permission, it's my first day there. It's just contract. I climbed up the little truss there where like a really expensive camera was, and I dove onto LA Park. Everybody was telling me to get down. Court was yelling. I didn't even know Court at the time, and then it ended up being used in the opening package for MLW for an entire yeah, somebody, man. I mean, that's all the business is all about. You know, you just got to wait for that opportunity. I feel like I've taken advantage of every opportunity they've given me up to this point. So if I keep that momentum going, it's only a matter of time.
Absolutely. Another match that intrigues me. I don't know if it's happened yet, but I was faithful to MLW. Then I dipped off a little bit. Then I came back and dipped off. But now I'm 100% in and focused on it. Got a podcast after all, and I did come up with the name MLW Rewind because I'm a lot younger and hipper than my. I think he's in his 70s, Rich Lewis. I think so. I'm not sure. Maybe it could be 80s. I'm not 100%. But uh, you and Zenshi, has that happened yet? Has that
Yeah,
been on wax? If not, when will it happen in an MLW ring?
it absolutely happened. His debut match was in Chicago against me one on one, and we did a lot of creative stuff. Man, he has a really unique offense. We used it to the fullest. Definitely looked it up. It's definitely on a fusion somewhere. Yeah, one on one. The finish was great. People popped. It was my hometown. People were behind me. That was a really fun memory from MLW for sure.
Absolutely. You're I mean the match with Alex Hammerstone, the crowd was behind you that night fully. And even though Hammerstone went on to win the open weight title, that crowd was in it. You like I said, you've done some entertaining shit without crowds, but how excited are you that hopefully we are around the corner from crowds coming back, because the crowd is that tag team partner that a lot of wrestlers rely on. It gives you that extra boost when you're kind of down and out, and it gives you that little shot of adrenaline that you need, like you said with coffee, kind of that pick me up. So how excited are you that crowds hopefully will be coming by the summer if everything goes right with these vaccines?
Yeah, no, seriously, man. This has been a how important the fans are, at least in my personal space, professional wrestling. I realize like they literally are everything. Everything else is secondary, and then the fans are first. Because I've done a number of these shows without fans, or like they let in. There was one time we did a show for 25 people in Chicago. That was the only amount of people they could let in, and it was just dreadful, man. Like, and then the people were scared to yell because of COVID, and then so the people are there, but they're not there. And then when there's no fans, it's just the person. It's like you, your opponent, camera guy, and then everybody. It's like this is not. It's they're so important. They're the most important element to me in professional wrestling, and this huge wake up call because I realized that before. I was like, oh yeah, those are cool. But no, it's all for them. It has been for them, and I think that's why they're behind me because I think they realize that about me. They can tell that I 110% every match, and 110%. I don't know, but I do feel a a a, a need for fans to come back as soon as they can because they're everything.
100%. But I enjoy watching you from the safety of my own home right now during this pandemic for sure. So, Court Bauer, as I did mention off air, he watches us. He knows we're here. He's kind of endorsed us as the MLW podcast for fans by fans. So it's kind of an open platform here, Gringo. I mean, I've kind of shouted out some ideas. You've shouted out some ideas, but I want to pitch one now that I think would be amazing. I think you and Zenshi both need gold. And I think the one way both of you can get gold rather quickly is a tag team match with Los Parks. So Court Bauer, if you're watching, give
Oh,
the aerial artist and the Loco one a shot at those MLW tag straps, because that's a match that just makes money. What do you think about that?
oh, I mean, any opportunity to get back in there with LA Park and company, man, I will take it at the drop of a dime, man. He's one of those guys. He's been around forever, man. WCW, you know what I mean? It's just been everywhere. He knows so much about the wrestling world. Anytime, and I think the element of mixing me with Zenshi, I really like that idea a lot. I mean, we both fly. He unique offense. I have a unique offense. I think it would gel real well, and we could give a definite push for the tag titles of MLW. Absolutely, I love the idea.
Well, I'm also looking for a job as a booker. So Court, if you're hiring, um, I gotta ask this because there's another guy in there that I don't know if you've had a chance to mix it up with yet, and he's on the outs with his tag partner. So right now he's kind of running singles, and that's one of my cruiserweight guy next to Leo Rush, which is TJP. I think you and TJP could put on a barn burner of a match as well. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's ever happened, but if it happened, the platform is available for it. I think there's so many elements where you could fit in and fit in well. Another match I'd love to see you in is I love Tom Lawler, but I love to hate him even more. I'd love to see you smack the taste out of Tom Lawler's fucking mouth.
Yeah, TJP has not happened, but I'm very, very familiar with his work. I think that would be an awesome match if I ever had the opportunity. He has a lot of training background with the same guys that I have trained with. We worked with Skyday a lot. His style kind of shows that. Tom Lawler, though, whew, you wanted me in there with a shooter. I mean, I'm for whatever, but that would be a clash of styles for sure, man. You got the lucha big guy who flew on, and then a guy that wants to knock my teeth out. I would take as well. I mean, I love him, but yeah, I mean, if he wants to get in there and rumble, why not? You know what I mean?
That's what I love about you, Gringo, because you're up to any kind of challenge. And I got to ask two more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. You said you didn't know Court when you had your debut. Obviously, you've had conversations in dealing with Court. I call him the mad genius because he's worked so many angles, and the storylines that he brings to the table, I don't even see them coming. And I'm really good at kind of reading the way a storyline is going to go. But there's a lot of storylines I'm left hanging. So is my interpretation or my nickname for Court Bauer correct? The Mad Genius. Would you agree with that? And to kind of keep things in the MLW universe, who is behind Aztec Underground? Who do you think the owner of Aztec Underground is? Two-part question.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Court is obviously a genius, man. He's for a long time. I think always bringing as a, but I know the final say is through Court, and you could tell by the work that he's putting out, man. People are loving the fusion. People are loving the special titles that they give. I don't know if it's pay per views, but there's special shows that they put on, and how could you not think of him as a genius? I mean, look how long the longevity speaks for itself. You know what I mean? And second question was what was the second question? I'm sorry, I forgot.
So there's
Got short
Promocios.
memory, bro.
No problem, no problem. Promocios Dorado.
Oh, who's behind? Yeah.
Yeah, who's behind it?
I think we're gonna have to wait and see. I can't give up that secret, but it'll
I
be
I threw out a
interesting.
name. I threw out a name. Let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know what you're thinking. Because Aztec Underground, there was also a program called Lucha Underground, Promocios Dorado, Spanish Ties. I'm thinking Vampiro. Am I kind of no? Maybe?
Ooh, ooh, that's a very interesting answer. Could be, man. Could be. That's a very good way that you're thinking. Absolutely, that could definitely go that way.
All right. All right. I'm glad to think that Gringo Loco, the crazy white boy, thinks I'm okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, Gringo, this has been amazing.
Yeah, no, you're more than okay.
Much love, brother. Much love. This has been amazing. And I want to officially let you
Yeah.
know you are now a member of the Rewind family. Anytime you want to come back, we'd be honored to have you. And you can meet my old guy if he's not out buying Depends. Lewis, my co-host.
Right on, man. I appreciate that, brother. Thanks for having me on, man. It was fun.
No problem. And before I go, shout out your socials real quick so the wonderful world of social media can find you.
Right on Twitter, it's Gringo Loco OG, and the Instagram is _am base guy. cool stuff and just stunts that I do. So, yeah, man. Follow the base god. Believe in the base god.
Absolutely. I follow you on both platforms, and I know you follow me back as well. So much love for that. As always, guys, this is it for MLW Rewind. This episode drops this upcoming Sunday. There is no rewind this week because they did an old school episode, so we're gonna take a break. But I had a great conversation with Gringo Loco. We had a little bit of distortion because of the snow there and the snow here. Fucking snow, fucking technology. What are you gonna do? But Gringo, thank you so much for being on MLW Rewind. And like I said, when the skies are clear, please come back.
Of course, man. Anytime, bro. Thank you.
All right, take care.